I'm with Karen and Biscuit. Karen, it must be a relief to have Biscuit back.
Yes, it is. Very much so.
Biscuit was your daughter's dog. You got Biscuit when she was, what, 6 weeks old?
6 weeks old, yeah.
And Biscuit's now how old?
9.5.
And she moved out with your daughter?
Yep.
Into this new apartment?
Yeah.
And what happened last night?
I picked my daughter up. She was dyeing her hair at a friend's. I went to pick her up, brought her home. I no sooner got back home and there was a message on Facebook saying that Biscuit was gone. And that her landlord left a message on her table that he had gone in and taken the dog.
And your daughter's not that old?
No, she's 18.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then I decided I was calling the Cornwall police, let them know what was going on. I didn't even know his full name, but they found it. 10 minutes later, he called me himself. He said, yeah, she was scratching the door, she was howling. So I said, well, where is our dog? And he said, I have her here. Well, you know, what right do you have to go in Amanda's apartment, no notice, no nothing, and take Biscuit?
Had there been any previous incidences with the landlord and Biscuit?
I guess he had mentioned to Amanda a couple of times that, you know, like she was a little noisy, but I mean, there's about 3 other dogs in that building. And like I said, you know, we delivered to that building and there's dogs that are, you know, yapping, and I don't know, he seemed to signal out Biscuit for some reason.
So how did you get Biscuit back?
Well, the landlord said when he called me back last night, he said he would deliver her this morning around 10 o'clock. So my son went over to see his sister and they waited for him until about 11. No show. So I called his house and his wife said he had gone for some x-rays and that he would be in with the dog whenever he was back.
Wow.
Then he called me to say that was it okay to bring Biscuit here because she's no longer allowed at that apartment building. So he said within the hour he would have her here. And he had her in the car. He came to the door with a paper for me to sign to saying that, you know, I'm taking possession of Biscuit and she's no longer able to go to my daughter's apartment. And once I signed that, then he let the dog out of the car and brought her to the...
So you didn't have the option?
No, he had her in the car.
And what did the Cornwall police say when you spoke to them? Because dogs are considered property.
Well, yeah. They said, when they called me back to find out the landlord had called me, they said, do you think Amanda would be satisfied knowing that the dog would be back? And I assumed she would have been, but then she was really irked that, you know, he was in her apartment. So they said they have on file the report, and that if she wanted to pursue it, that they would have it, and just make sure she kept the letter that she got from the landlord showing that he went in her apartment, obviously, and put it on her kitchen table and took the dog.
For a lot of people, dogs are like our extended family. They're like
That's
children.
Right. I mean, Biscuit's, like I said, has been around since, you know, Amanda was she going to be 10? So Amanda would have been 8. So she grew up with this dog. We brought her home in the sleeve of a jacket when she was that little.
I can't imagine how you must have felt.
Horrible. Horrible. Yeah. I mean, she's part of our family, you know? Yeah.
And dogs, I mean, a 10-year-old dog in human years of that Biscuit size is close to an 80 or 90-year-old human.
Yeah.
So the stress, the going up and down the stairs.
I mean, I know she has a bit of a deep bark, but I mean, she's Beagle Retriever, so Beagles are known for their, you know, their barks.
And how long had Biscuit lived there?
Since the 1st of April.
Okay, and we're now near the end of June, yeah. So April, May, June, 3 months.
I guess he told her a couple of times that, you know, like, the dog was barking, and like, so Amanda, every time, like, she comes here on Saturdays to do her laundry, Biscuit comes for the day with her. You know, she tries to take her as many places as she can, but if she's visiting a friend and they don't want dogs, well, you know, and you should be able to keep your dog in an apartment without having to worry about the SPCA coming to get them.
Well, and Biscuit doesn't walk that well right now. She's limping, so she's not like a travel dog at this point.
No. I mean, she's a little on the heavy side, which probably makes it hard on her legs. But I mean, you know, like, she's well fed, she's, you know, well loved, and
yeah, a very friendly dog.
Yeah, what the SPCA would do, in that matter, I don't know. I don't think there's not much they can do.
Yeah. So. Well, glad that you got Biscuit back, and we'll follow up and see what happens with this case. If you could say anything to the landlord, what would you say after all this?
I would just think it's an invasion of privacy, and like, you have no right to take, you know, you have no right to go in her apartment, period, but to take part of our family and just assume it's okay to take her out to the country in Martintown, like, that's just not right.
No, I hear you.
No.
All right, thank you.